Hey there, tomato heads. Happy Tuesday. It is August 19th, 2025, and it's Tomato Tour Tuesday. I thought I'd take you through, today's a busy day for me. Actually, pretty much any time mid-August is very busy because the tomatoes are coming in so fast that I can hardly keep up with it. I'm going to show you upstairs, I've been making sauce. Today I'm canning. I've been seed saving, harvesting. So I debated whether or not to do a tour today, but I wanted to show you at least what I've been up to. And I'm sure many of you can relate to where I'm at. So right now I'm down in my basement, which is where, this way. Over there is where I record my show. It's a mess, as you can see. It doesn't look like a mess on TV. Can I, nope, I can't do that. Here, let me flip it around. Okay, here it is over here. This is my quote-unquote office. And this is where I record my show. That's my computer. Got seeds all over here. See all that? Those are seeds I haven't logged yet. Lots and lots of seeds. And then let me show you, I've got another drawer over here full of seeds I've received that I haven't logged yet either over the years. This is my monotub bin where I grow mushrooms. This whole envelope full of seeds. I always say I'm going to do it in the winter time and I don't. Over here I've still have seeds on plates from last year. These are so far this year's seeds. These are the ones that are all fully dry. I let them dry for 2 weeks. I've got them in alphabetical order. They're waiting to go into envelopes. Here's Missouri, which I've got ready to go out. Burnt sugar is another one. But yeah, those are all ones from last year that I haven't even put in envelopes yet. Here I'm growing some lettuce for the fall. I've got some micros going here. We're going to be doing Micropalooza again in the group. We're going to start October 1st this year. This is, I've got 2 of my micros here. This one's called Micro Angelo. I had 2 ripe ones, but they fell off yesterday, so they're upstairs. This one's called Creamsicle Mini. Aren't they pretty? Look like little creamsicles. And then down here is one of my stations for drying seeds. You can see the ones that just came out yesterday. They're not separated yet. What I'll do is I'll go through, these are still a little wet, and just separate them with my fingers. I do ferment. That's the process that I use. I know some people use the OxyClean method, but I prefer fermenting. And this time of year, it only takes maybe 2 to 3 days. And the amount of time you spend drying really depends on the humidity in your house. A lot of people do a week. I do 2 weeks just to be safe. So that is station 1 over here. This is a microdwarf called Hupsi, Hupsi. This is another one of mine. This is my cross of Micro Mini and Dwarf Purple Heartthrob. Kind of cool looking fruits there. Got a Henry Harrington's bush cherry going there. Started a tiny totem. And then 2 raspberry berets by Bill Yoder, which I'm going to use for a cross idea I had. So that's down here in the basement. Let's go upstairs. I'll show you what's going on up here. Let me first show you my tomatoes. It's a mess up here because, like I said, it's canning day. I've just filled 2 jars. I've got jars waiting to be filled in there. And this is my sauce, which Rob and I decided we are going to name Shoot It Into My Veins tomato sauce. I'll do a separate video on how I make my sauce, but let me tell you, it's basically just tomatoes. I put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pot just so the tomatoes don't stick. And then I'll add just a little bit of fresh oregano and like a big long stalk of basil, which I'll then fish out. And so I do all my seed saving. I squish all the seeds out in the fermentation jars, just mason jars that are covered with coffee filters. And I let them go like These are ready to go. This is Tupelo honey. You can see it's got nice fermentation on it, and that's from 3 days ago. So these are ready to be strained, rinse with water, and then I've already done these over here. These are, I put them on coated paper plates so they don't stick, and I do reuse these. After they're done drying, I will stack them up and I reuse them. I just cross out the name. I put the date on there so I know how long they've been drying. But anyway, my tomato sauce. So I'll squish out the seeds and the juice, and then I'll put the rest of the tomato flesh and skin in the pot with, like I said, with a little bit of olive oil. I let it simmer all day long, so it's really concentrated. This is like 3 batches I've got in here, 3 days worth. And then I take an immersion blender and I just whiz the hell out of it, skins and all. And it becomes this, it's a really delectable, thick tomato sauce. So I'll do a separate video on that at some point. Up here, I've got micros and cherries that need to be saved. That's one of my crosses. Isn't that pretty? That's a micro cross. I keep talking about Amazing Grapes by Phil Seneca. This is a great cherry. Tastes like grapes. So I've got, well, this is my main counter, which I show every week. I've got this going here, all labeled. I've got this going here. I've got kind of some smaller extras in here. I've been giving these away to people. I've been giving a lot away to people. I brought more to pickleball last night too. And then I had to move, because I ran out of space over there, I had to move over here. So it's kind of a disaster over here. I've got more micros and cherries that need to be reviewed, seed saved. These are the Reinhard Craft. This is Micro Sun. Look at the tops of these. Aren't they cool? Little star. And this is Micro Mars. Pretty. And then I've got some of the bigger ones over here. There's some really bright green ones here, and I wouldn't normally pick them off the vine. Some of them fell off the vine because it wasn't supported. There are others, like Green Heart of Sophia, that look like they're not ripe, but they are, because they have a clear epidermis, so they don't turn amber like some. Here I've got, this is a better ripe one. Well, it seems like it's fully ripe. That's Victoria Salute. And then I've got some Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest here that, unfortunately, this time of year, I've got these stink bugs that come. I forget the actual name from they look like stink bugs, and they eat their way through tomatoes. So yeah, look at this one. I was hoping this is Verde Rojo de Sierra Pondo. I was hoping this would ripen before it started rotting, but it doesn't look like it's going to, so I'm gonna have to throw that out. Thankfully there's others on the vine, but this is what I'm dealing with. If I leave fruits on the vine, the tobacco worms and the stink bugs, they get to them. It's very frustrating. It happens every year at this time. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Got Bill Yoder's Chauffeur here. Gorgeous. This one is, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I show the plant quite often. It translates it's from Serbia. It translates to giant tomato apple tree. These things are massive. These big ones are most of those. Just picked my first Jake's German, not ripe yet. And picked my first Abeneus. I've got 3 of these here. What else do I have? Oh, here's this is starting to ripen. This is Sophia's, it's called Strawberry Sherbet. And I've got another Triumph of Sophia. This is one of my favorites of the year. Got a couple of those here. Oh, I finally got these too. Dawn's Delightful Heart. This is by Craig LaHoulier. That plant is loaded. What else do I have? Fiery Turban, not Fiery Turban, Fiery Mountains. We're not fully ripe yet, but it's a pretty bicolor, big fruits. We reviewed this the other night. And I'll put all these on these reviews on Instagram. I'm just a little busy right now. It's another one we reviewed the other night called Chocolate Avalanche. What else do I have here? Oh, so Mrs. Gorby's. My Mrs. Gorby's are very small. I'm not getting big fruits from that plant at all. Haven't tasted it yet. Look at this funny Hazel Creek. This is Prune Iberipuera, which look very similar to Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest. I'm gonna have to wait till they ripen to see if they are in fact the same variety. They look very similar. This is Dwarf Boyd Smith, kind of a funny looking fruit. Those are on very small compact plants that are maybe 24 to 28 inches tall. Here's a Baltic chocolate that's not fully ripe yet. Anything else over here? We've got Temptation of Sophia. We reviewed this the other night. There's Rory the Wonder Cat screaming to go out. We've already been out, little girl. We've already been out. Oh, I know. You're so sad. What else do we have? Chocolate liqueur we reviewed the other night. These are big too. Pretty, right? Here I've got a Godzilla pepper. Jen gave me that plant. And another one from Jen called Rachella. And this is a mini dwarf called Ladybug. These are Johnny Jump Up. This is, I want to take a picture of this outside to do a new, every year I do a new photo, cover photo for Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. And it always features me holding up a tomato that looks like a heart. I seem to luck out every year. So this is a Mrs. Gorby's. I've actually got two Mrs. Gorby's that are hearts. So I'm gonna hold this up, waiting to take a picture with that. And then let's see what we've got over here. I'll show you some of these and then we'll go outside. The plants are looking really sad. As you can imagine, they looked sad last week. They look sad this week. But I mean, you can kind of understand why I've given away so many tomatoes. I've obviously been making sauce like a mad woman, which requires a lot of tomatoes, and seeded them already. I've got so many seeds to be able to share with you guys. And I still have this many tomatoes. Not complaining. So with my plants looking sad, I'm certainly not complaining at all. I just want some tomatoes to be able to share with people going to Carlisle next month in September for our tasting. But my plants still have lots of green tomatoes on them, so I should be okay. I do find though that the end of season tomatoes just don't taste quite the same, but we'll see. I don't know if I've talked about this one. This is Harsh Melon of the Volga Germans. That was a really tasty one. These are Tupelo honey. This is a non-stop plant, Tupelo honey. I've seeded a lot, so there aren't a lot that are fully ripe, but the interior of these is just gorgeous. One of the most gorgeous interiors I've ever seen, and a very tasty tomato. Here I've got some Shake the Disease. Some of these are starting to turn, so I need to seed them. I just have a hard time keeping up with it. But it's work that I love. It really is. This is a delicious one. This is called Alaskino Heart by Sophia, which translates in English to Alice's Heart. That is a really sweet tomato. This is another Sophia. Look at this one. This is Chocolate Delight. Look at the size of this. Plants are really productive. Very tasty tomato. Got some Chocolate Henry by Sophia here. Not quite fully ripe, but getting there. That wasn't the most productive of her plants. I did grow 2 plants, but I do have a lot of seeds. That's delicious also. These are all Riddle of Strawberry Waterfall, also from Sophia. Very, very productive. Non-stop fruits from there. Speaking of productive, Sophia's Maple Heart. Oh my goodness. fruit upon fruit upon fruit, and I've seeded so many and given away so many already. It's absolutely a crazy productive plant. These are another Sophia Magic Rainbow. Aren't they gorgeous? That's really starting to come in a lot. Sparkling Purple Light. Just the shape of her tomatoes is just outstanding, isn't it? What else do we have here? This is a cuckoo I got. It's supposed to be Fertility Baton. And if you've seen the pictures of Fertility Baton, they are oblong and striped, and these are not. But boy, is this a delicious tomato. The Brix was like 8.8 or something like that. So I'm saving seeds, going to rename it something. I did have an idea the other day, but it's escaping me at the moment. And it's also incredibly productive. So it's nothing like Fertility Baton, but delicious nonetheless. I have a lot of cuckoos this year. Not all are worth carrying over. In fact, I think most of them are not, but this cuckoo Fertility Baton certainly is. They're just gorgeous and delicious. Got some Obamas still here. These are all Malapine, the tomato of the hour that I talked about. This is a green that beat out Malachite Box and Verde de las Landas, both excellent green tomatoes. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but this Malapine is really something special. Over here, I do have some more Verde de las Landas. Those are coming in hard and fast. Ben Gantz, Kina wrote a nice post about those the other day. This is a variety called Burke TF, Tomato Fanny. Getting a lot of those. Kina, I don't know how stable it is. I think I talked about this last week. Kina's also growing it, and she said it's got like a funky aftertaste. She hates it. It's a spitter. And I've tasted many, many fruits, and mine are delicious. And I know Kina's palate. If she tried mine, she would love them. So hers look the same. Both of ours look the same, but I know climate can be a factor too, but it is interesting how different they are. This is another one that's been incredibly productive for me, Mordovian Malachite. That's a Zagallon variety. Beautiful tricolor tomato. Here's Bill Yoder's Notorious. Rob and I reviewed this a week or so ago. Isn't that pretty? Notorious. This is a Spanish called Negro Segurino. Yummy. Another productive one, Rosa de Leano. So productive. Got tons of those and have given a lot away. These are starting to go. These were one of my first to come in. This is called Gingerbread. Incredibly productive plant. I feel like I say that about every variety. There are some that are more productive than others. Gingerbread. Got Heidi's Wicked Good. This was a great tomato, also very productive. Heidi Dolan bred these. Delicious. This is called Twilight Tricolor. Jen gave me this plant. Aren't they pretty? I've had a lot of these. Nice sized tomatoes. What else do we have? Let's go over here. These are Coatli Salubong. This is a dwarf determinate by Phil Seneca. Super cute little nuggets. Very tomatoey. Good shelf life. This is one of Phil's crosses called Punta Banda and Muddy Waters. Another one from Phil Seneca, Queen Nanny. Now this is a special tomato. Let me tell you, this is one of the most delicious tomatoes of the year for me. Also very productive. So tomatoey. I talked about this on my show on Thursday. I tasted one and showed it to everybody. Queen Nanny is what it's called, and there's a great story behind it if you go on Phil Seneca's website, which is Good Mind Seeds. He no longer sells. He's off the grid. He's a Native American. He's at his reservation, but his website is a great reference for many of his varieties, not all of his crosses, which I'm doing. This is one of his Skykomish and Amazing Grapes. I'm getting these are F3, two different variants from his. This is a cherry, and this is the same exact cross, but it's more of a beefsteak, really pretty beefsteak. I've got some Captain Lucky's. My plant for Captain Lucky is just not very productive. This is Southern Evening. Those were one of the early ones to come in, and those were incredibly productive too. Oh, this is another cuckoo I have of Sophia's. It's supposed to be Sweet Tropical Pear, but it's split, and this is another one that I'm carrying over. It looks very similar to the Fertility Baton. Oh, you know what? It was this one. This had the 8.8 bricks, not the Fertility Baton. It was Sweet Tropical Pear. I think I'm going to name this Sweet Tropical Peach. It would be an F2 because it is a split of what the regular Sweet Tropical Pear are supposed to be, green when ripe with antho at the top. And these are insanely productive. My apologies for the misinformation. So it's this one I'm carrying over. Fertility Baton Cuckoo I think was good, but it's the Sweet Tropical Peach. Is that what I said I was going to call it? Yes, Sweet Tropical Peach. I need to email Sophia and just clear that with her, but I think that's what I'm going to do because it's definitely a winner. These are Racer X by Dean Slater. This is another cuckoo. These are supposed to be Armenian, but which is supposed to be a beautiful bicolor, and these are just plain yellow. I'm giving those away to people, other tomato heads. Here's some Beefy Purple by Mark McCaslin of Frog's Leap Farm. Really good tomato. Skin's a bit chewy, but it was bred to be able to be transported to markets and things like that. So I knew that going in, it would be chewy. We already talked about Tupelo Honey, Shake the Disease. Here's some Jarson 1 Tricolor, one of my all-time faves. They're so pretty and so delicious. What's this one? Oh, that's another Burke Tomato Fanny, Burke TF. So pretty, right? Over here I've got a mixture of things. These are things that I've either, things that I don't care for, like Malachite Box Black, which is unfortunately very productive. Things that are cuckoos that I don't need seeds of. And then I've got just another place to put tomatoes. This is another one that I just ran out of room to put them all. Sweet Truffle Heart by Sophia. So many fruits coming in. So pretty, isn't it? I grew a Cherokee Purple plant for a couple people I was giving plants to. I wasn't going to grow it myself, but then I had an extra one, so I decided to grow it. My plant's not doing great. It is in a grow bag that I kind of neglected. But I have one lone Cherokee Purple, so I'm waiting for that to ripen. It's a great one, no doubt about it. I don't know what some of these are, but again, these are ones I'm either putting in my sauce or giving away. I do have a friend coming on Thursday. I've already given her some, but I'm gonna give her more. My friend Sue Ellen, who has a farm, and I've given plants to. I give her tomato plants every year. I was over at her house yesterday. She has a peach tree and has more peaches than she knows what to do with. One lone peach tree, and her house is full of them, kind of like my house is full of tomatoes. So she gave me a box of peaches. I'm going to do something with them, probably peel them and cut them and maybe can them. Be good over ice cream or something like that. So that's what, let me show you, and I have another seed saving station in our game room. The house is really just tomato central. There we go. So the pool table is another spot where I save seeds. I need more spots for my plates. Here's Queen Nanny seeds. See, I've already broken these up with my fingers. It's got the date on there just 2 days ago, so those still have a little bit less than 2 weeks to go. Lots of good stuff I'm going to share with you guys. So that's it for inside in my tomato nirvana house at the moment. I'm going to finish canning some of my sauce, and then we'll go outside and take a look at some of the plants. Talk to you later. Hey, before we head outside, there was one thing I didn't really show you down here in the basement. I kind of scanned the paper plates where the seeds are drying, but this is where I fill my seed swaps. Let me turn it around so I can guide you a little more. So for anybody that gets seeds from me, and I think that's a lot of you, this is where I do my work. Let me show you a little closer. So Rob set up this table for me. I usually have my iPad up here, which is where I play like favorite podcasts and things like that. And then, as you can see, I've got a bunch of prepackaged things here. I haven't filled seeds in a while because I've been busy with tomato season. But I used this fantastic tray, which I think came once with a toaster oven, but it's great because you can see seeds on it. And then I use these tweezers with this flat end to scoop up the seeds. I have this bucket is full of empties that I've opened up. And then I've got my labels here, a big stack of labels where I personally label them. And I always put the year. So, and then I've got return address labels here. All my stamps are here. So this is kind of the station. It's a bit messy now, where I fill my seed swaps. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that now that seeds are coming in. Look at this big stack already of things I've got to share with you guys. I love to share with you guys. I really do. Here's the deck. I'm not sure much has changed since last week. I have a lot of dying micros. Here's a micro that wasn't ripening last week. This is a micro of mine that I call Micro Angelo. Obviously the foliage is gone, but that's okay. I really just need it for seeds. These are F3. Aren't they huge and so prolific, right? These fruits are huge. It'll get a bit darker than this, but it's a bicolor. Really excited about that cross. So those were not ripening last week, but a lot of these are done already. Ripped out the lettuce in there. There's some good lettuce in there. Here's cork cucumbers, which I'm starting to see some little guys coming. That was a second planting. My green stalk with micros. Some are just done. Some, like my crosses I shared last week, my crosses are doing pretty well. They're hanging up, holding up to disease pretty well. This is one of my micro mini dwarf purple heartthrob crosses. I gotta water this. This is that yellow ding dong pepper. The pot's too small. I had no idea the plant would be so large, so I have to water it every day. Can't wait for these to ripen. Oh, and this needs water too. That's rutabaga and turnips. No, rutabaga, parsnips and turnips. That's what it is. What else we have going on? I've got some Uber arugula. It's called. I get these from, where did I get these from? Territorial Seed Company. It's kind of a baby arugula. I love it. It's very prolific. If you like arugula, or otherwise known as rocket in other parts of the world. It's so spicy and peppery. I just love the flavor. Very sharp flavor. You can take a look at some of these peppers. This is Pippin's Golden Honey. These are not ripe yet, but got a lot of fruits coming on there. This one's called Milky Way. Seeds from that came from Tomato Seta. Looks pretty cool. And my favorite pepper, as you probably all know if you've watched my channel, it's an Italian variety called Tomaticot. Got my first one ripening here. So beautiful, but aren't the shape of these are so cool. I've got a bunch of those coming. Here's a good lettuce, and I've got a good lettuce mixture over here. I think this is one of Frank Morton's mixtures. Let's take a look. I've been really liking his lettuce mixes, Frank Morton. Nope, it's not. It's just called Farmer's Market Lettuce Blend. Forget where that one came from, honestly. I'm usually pretty good at remembering, but I don't remember where that came from. Probably Johnny's or Territorial. And then my second planting of lettuce here in this planter. These are all looking really good. These are all from Johnny's. It's Red Butter, Nancy, and Starfighter. Really pretty lettuce. More of my crosses looking pretty good here. We've got Micro Wine by Lucas Wallman. I've been picking all these when they get ripe because Microberry Jerry's here with a vengeance, my little chipmunk. It is nonstop. Not necessarily meant to be a hanging basket. I thought I would try it this year, and it's working out pretty well. So I shared a little while ago in the garden what's happening. Oh, there's a pretty swallowtail butterfly there. Let's see if I can grab it. There it is. Getting a lot of butterflies this year. Oh, hi, beauty. A couple monarchs too, which is a real treat. They love my zinnias. So this time of the year, every year, besides the disease, which you've seen the last several weeks, has been tobacco. It's not tobacco hornworms, is it? It's why is this doing this? All right, there we go. I think my stabilizer was following the butterfly and it got all confused. So that and these darn stink bugs, and I'm sure we will see fruits that have it. So I've been picking, really trying to be diligent at picking it first ripe. I did rip out some plants this weekend that were done. This one, don't know how to pronounce it, but in English it translates to Southern Evening. That was done. That gave me a lot of fruits. That was a good one. Twilight Tricolor still going a bit. Tupelo honey, just when you think it's done, there's one there, but there's a whole bunch more coming. Boy, is that a productive variety, Tupelo honey, and a very delicious one too. A lot of these I didn't top in time, and now I'm just being lazy and I'm letting them tip over. This one, giant tomato apple tree, those great big red ones you saw inside, totally just flopping on the ground. Still getting some really big fruits from that though. And this amazing grapes, which I can't speak of highly enough. It's just, this is all hanging because it's not staked, but it's doing just fine. Here's some ripe ones here. I just love it. Queen Nanny, still have a bunch of those coming. And that one's heading over that direction too. Well, this is a cross of Soika and Grungy in the Sky bicolor. I did rip out this cross Punta Banda and Muddy Waters. That was done. That produced a lot. I think it was a determinate. At least it was for me. This one's not doing much, but I have another plant. This is a variety called Angwe Es. This one's not really, I don't think it's producing any fruits. Where does this belong to? I think those are all Queen Nannies up there. Oops, where'd you go? Those are Queen Nannies. But I have another plant that's producing. So that's cool because I'd be bummed to miss that one. This is Grungy in the Sky bicolor and Queen Aliquipa. This is a white variety called Soika Bakwa. Actually, it's Gakwa. I put a B, but it's a G. Over here is Sky Commission Amazing Grapes. I showed you inside. There's a cherry version and a beefsteak version. This is the beefsteak version. And boy, are they really prolific. That's here in this jungle. As you can see, the plants are looking pretty sad. Oh, there's the butterfly. Come back, come back. He'll be back. What do we have over here? Over here is more Malapine. I just picked like 10 of those. This is my new favorite green when ripe. One of the best tomatoes I've ever had. Here's another one. These both need to be picked. They're a little squishy. The remainders of Jill in the Box. Still have some Jack in the Box. Those just started coming. Another really productive one this season for me has been hazel grouse under the pineapple. This is like nonstop fruit. That's a good one too. Over here is that fertility baton cuckoo. Very productive, very productive, really pretty fruits. This is chocolate liqueur. Still have lots of fruits coming from that. The Chumatsky Shlyak, or Milky Way, looks pretty done. That gave me a lot. Fiery Mountains. Those are those great big yellow bicolors inside. I have a couple more coming. I got a number of those big ones. Crepuscule or Dusk, another productive tricolor. That's still coming. Where do you belong to? This looks like Fiery Mountains. Yes, it is. It's migrated all the way over here. We've got Elves of the Puzzlewood Forest. Harsh Melon of the Volga Germans over here. Everything's very crunchy. This just started getting ripe ones from this. This is called Chocolate Avalanche. It turns like a brownish purple, very pretty. Who do you belong to? Oh, that's another Chocolate Avalanche. It's migrated. This is the Burke TF plant. That looks pretty done. I got a lot from that though. Looks like there's some flowers up there, but that's not going to produce by the end of the season. This is Baltic chocolate. That took a long time. And this one I haven't had any ripe yet. This is called Angel Soul. Very cool looking fruits. Doesn't even look like anything's close to blushing. So for you Carlisle people who are coming to our tasting, chances are you'll be able to taste Angel Soul. I believe that's a tricolor, green one ripe tricolor. I'm not really sure. Bacon lettuce in this, nothing ripe yet. Lots of fruits coming, nothing ripe yet, but I do see, here's an example. You can tell that's from a tobacco worm. That's how they eat the fruits, little jerks. My Bananas Noir, nothing ripe yet. That's always a late season. Patiently waiting for Bananas Noir. These are bigger fruits than I normally get from Bananas Noir, so that's kind of exciting. Here's more evidence of the worm / stink bugs. Obama seems to be, oh, I've got a couple more. That's another incredibly productive plant and pretty short. I don't know if I'd call it a dwarf, but it's probably about 5 foot tall. It didn't get any taller than that for me. So yeah, maybe that is technically a dwarf. It's not listed as a dwarf, but for me it was a dwarf. I don't know if anybody else out there has grown it. Akelia, I know you've grown it. Jen, Kina, let me know if yours are dwarfs, because it's tapped out, and if yours are all dwarfs, I mean, this would be quite a find because they're so tasty, and I got so many fruits off this thing, and big ones too. So that would be exciting. What do we have here? Blackjack. Have not had any ripe of blackjack yet. Very slow to grow, but I'm excited to get them. Many of you have grown it out there. They look fantastic. We got more over here. This is a dwarf determinate. I know I show it every week. This is definitely, every time I think it's on the way out, there's more. Kuatli Salubong by Phil Seneca. This is a cuckoo of Phil Seneca called Joda. Unfortunately, the person giving those out, I don't think she realized it crossed in her garden. They're supposed to be a round red cherry, and they're not. But they're still pretty and still tasty, and they go well in sauce, so that's good. Here's another cross. This is Grungy in the Sky Bicolor and Everett's Rusty Oxheart. Getting a lot of these. Really tasty, very fruity and tomatoey. All right, let's go back here. Come on, there we go. And juicy and seedy, and it looks like a plum, like a paste tomato, but it's not. It's not very juicy. Okay, who's here? Here we've got Verde de los, oops, come back, come on, this way. This thing has a mind of its own, I swear. Come back. Hang on. You're supposed to be doing what I want you to do, not what you want to do. Come back. All right, that's not it. Come back. All right, there we go. Here's more Verde de las Landas, which topped out malachite box for me for like a week. And it's delicious, don't get me wrong. I know many of you have tasted it and you'll agree it's delicious. But Malapine beat it. Sorry to say. All three of those greens, though, you can't go wrong. They're delicious. Here's Verde Rojo de Sierra Pondo, which has Verde de las Landas in the cross along with English Rose. Those are great big fruits. That's the one inside that I picked because it was eaten. I was hoping for it to ripen before it rotted, but no such luck. But I'm still haven't had any ripe yet. I'm super excited for it, but still lots of fruits to come. I've let these beans go too long, as you can see. So they will be good for saving dried beans. And I just love the way this arch turned out with the beans hanging down. I think I showed this last week, but these Chinese red long noodle beans, is that what they are? They're super cool. Super cool. But those go too long too. Let's look over here. Finally getting some ripe Spanish ones. This is the gingerbread plant. Looks like I still have some things coming. That production was insane on that. I forget if I'm not sure that we had tasted this before the tour I toured last Tuesday. This is a variety called Familial de Cacchetti. It's from the country of Georgia. Tim Schneidegers, the grandson of Carl Schneidegers, of Carl's Emmsley-Traube cherry tomato, told me that I should grow this, and he sent me seeds. And he was right. It's this beautiful, huge pink tomato. I don't have any more ripe at the moment, but Rob and I loved it. So I'll be doing a review on that soon. And these plants are looking pretty good. Still haven't had any of these yet. This is a Spanish called Arextaboleta or Morado de Arextaboleta. Still patiently waiting for ripening. Here's Ebonias. This one looks like it's starting to blush. I have 3 big ones inside that I showed you guys. They're starting to blush. Those took a while. The reds and pinks always seem to take a while. Look at the Bill Yoder plants. Are these not insane? Crazy, crazy, crazy. I just picked my first. This is Gratitude. And I just picked my first one that's inside. Many more to come. Still waiting on Fascination Street. Bill seemed surprised by that when I told him, because he said it's normally pretty early for him. But yeah, for me, not so much. So still patiently waiting, but have lots of fruits to come. Got the Chauffeur. And I've got one here that, because it's in the sun, it's got what do you call it? Anthocyanin and more Blasphemous Rumors, which is delicious. Kina tasted it for the first time yesterday and she agreed it's delicious and beautiful. Hold Back the Rain. It's a green one right by Bill. We tasted this last night. It's very good. Very good. Bogatira lucia. These are really getting eaten by pests. So I did pick a couple that were barely blushing and they're inside. I really want to taste more this season. We grew it last season and absolutely loved it. Gosh, our Captain Lucky just kicked the bucket. I picked 2 fruits from this thing. It's a potato leaf, which is normally less susceptible to disease. Is this part of it over here? Oh, wait, never mind. It's not dead. But are there more fruits? I don't think so. It's such a shame. Shake the Disease. Have lots of these. That's a very prolific plant. Still waiting. Suffer Well. Hey, it looks like I see some blushing finally. Yay. Yay. Over here. My favorite tomato. I have to put it up next to Malapine, do a taste off and see what's better. Jarson 1 tricolor, that's a crazy one. Lots of those coming in. What else do we have? What's going on over here? Green Prince Ruffled. Yeah, that's dead. Gotta yank that out. I got a lot from that though. It was pretty good. Negro de Santiago. Have not had anything yet. So even though I've got so much, there's still a number of things that we have not tasted yet. This needs to be staked. But Negro de Santiago. Have several fruits. Come on. There we go. Look at Don's Delightful Heart. Look at all the fruits on this thing. Very healthy plant, so obviously holds up to disease really well. Can't wait to taste it. I've not tasted it yet, but lots of fruit. So if you're, depending on how it tastes, if you're looking for a disease resistant, it is potato leaf too, which usually holds up to disease better in my experience. Try Don's Delightful Heart, but I'll let you guys know how it tastes. You can really tell, I think I said this last week too, you can really tell which varieties hold up to disease. Bill Yoder's obviously are doing really, really well. What else is back here? Guido, which I've had some problems with the pests eating these. I've had 2 that I saved seeds from because they were eaten a little bit, so I haven't officially tasted it yet. But Deb Toothaker and Heidi Dolan told me it's a really good one, so I'm excited to taste that. Who's over here? Hazel Creek Regular Leaf. We tasted Hazel Creek Regular Leaf last night, and I'll be honest, it didn't wow me, but I'm waiting for the potato leaf to come, which is in another bed. Here's another Spanish chocolate. We tasted that the other night. It was pretty good. And then we have Spanish Rose over here. Have not tasted that yet. Waiting patiently. These reds and pinks take a long time. Rosa de Leano. I can't even describe how prolific that thing was. And a very good pink tomato. We really enjoyed it. We tasted it next to Ben Gantz. Rob liked Ben Gantz better. I think I did too, but it's a good one. All right, who else we have over here? I ripped out Dusky Maiden. That's a goner. That was an early producer for me. We already did this row. Let's look. Got more Sophias over here. Aren't these zinnias just gorgeous? So, so pretty. Only had 2 of these ripe so far, but I see there's more that look like they are blushing now. This is Rose Gold by Sophia. This is an F5. No, these would be F6. The seeds were F5. This is a special variety. Delicious. Probably, no, definitely the prettiest variety we grew this season. Even the things that are still coming, I can't imagine anything will top it as far as beauty. And I will put up a review soon. Here's the Sparkling Purple Light. These are very cool looking fruits. Have really gotten a good number of those too. Strawberry Sherbet, not so much. The plant's looking good. I showed you inside. We have our first ones. We have not tasted it yet. It's another Sophia striped one. Here's the Sweet Tropical Pear Cuckoo. Still going strong. It's always the cuckoos that, when I say cuckoo, what that means, it's basically a term that's used in Europe a lot. What it means is it's not, when you grow it out, it's not what it's supposed to be. So if you see a picture on a vendor site, like say Victory Seeds of a tomato, say, let's just say Cherokee Purple, and then you end up getting a yellow tomato, which is not Cherokee Purple, they would refer to that as a cuckoo. And it happens. It happens with trades. Honestly, most of my cuckoos, it's been very few of mine have happened from trades. Mine almost always are from vendors. It happens. It's a real bummer. Sometimes it works out, like the Sweet Tropical Pear with Sophia. I'm going to save that and continue on with it, probably calling it Sweet Tropical Peach if Sophia is okay with that. But then other times it's like, you can share seeds, of course, you can grow it out again, you don't know what you're going to go next, because obviously most of the time it crossed with something in the garden of whoever sold you the seeds or traded you the seeds. So you may not get the same thing next year either. But it is part of the fun of tomatoes, I suppose, except when you're really, really looking forward to a variety and it grows out wrong. And I've had a number of those over the years, and this year I've got a lot this year, which is a bummer. I don't really consider sweet tropical pear, though, a cuckoo. It's really a split. And what that means, I've talked about this many times, but what that means is Sophia says it was an F6. I'm looking at the tag here. So things aren't considered stable until F7, F8. And so what that means is she'll show you a picture on her website of what sweet tropical pear looks like. And she says in writing, may still split, which means you may not get exactly this. And then Jen got the real thing. And who is it in the Carlisle crew? Kim Pierce, I think. I gave her a plant. She got the real thing. Kina's got the real thing, and I sent her seeds from the same lot. But I did not, and Deb Toothaker did not. We got something different. So kind of interesting. Mine worked out well. I don't think Deb's worked out too well. I think she got kind of a cherry, but so that's what that all means. So let's get back to the garden. How much time have we spent here? We'll do another couple minutes. I know I spent a long time inside. Do another couple minutes and we'll call it a day. So I just recorded like 10 minutes. Turns out it wasn't recording. I'm glad I realized now. So I left off talking about cuckoos, and then I'll show you what else I was talking about. It feels funny to repeat stuff I've already said, but since you didn't hear it, I'll repeat it. So let's go over here. I was saying that I don't show the dwarfs too much, so let me show you a couple of the dwarfs. The ones down there are kind of dead, but I'll show you some I've got right here. Okay, we are recording, it looks like. Over here's a sucker plant of burnt sugar. I won't get anything right by this end of this season, but it was worth a shot. Here's a sucker plant of beefy purple. Here's a dwarf called Dwarf Brown number 9. This is cucumbers that I've never grown before. It's called something with apple. What is it called? Richmond Green Apple. Seeds for this came from Baker Creek. I got them a few years ago, and I've never grown it before. They looked cool, though. This is a dwarf called Red House Freestanding. Look how compact this thing is. Really kind of a mini dwarf. What else do we have? Here's another dwarf number 9. And the sucker plant of Verde Rojo de Sierra Pondo, which I won't get anything from this season. Here's another Soika and Grungy in the Sky bicolor cross. Here's one I was showing you in the other bed, a variety called Angway ES. It's a white, and it wasn't doing anything in the other bed, but here in the grow bag, I'm getting some beefsteaks. I'm excited about that. Here's more Mordovian malachite, super productive. This one is called American Idol. I was just saying before I was not recording. This is by, I think it's Steve Conti and somebody Rowall. I apologize for not knowing the names offhand. I'll put it in the comments during the premiere. They've also bred Cherokee short steak and some other new ones. You can get seeds at Bene Seeds, which was formerly Fred Hempel's. It was Artisan Seeds. And after he passed away, Bene Seeds kind of took over his crosses. Go, Bee, go. Yeah, do your thing, man. Or she. Probably a she. She does all the work, right? Got a couple things I need up potting here. This one is Dwarf Jade Charisma. I'm going to grow that indoors. Heidi Dolan gave me seeds for that. Look at the potato chartreuse leaves. Really pretty, right? Got more raspberry beret here. So let's take a look over here. I've got more of my crosses still going. This is a dwarf, a really compact dwarf too. Have not had ripe from yet, so I don't know what these are going to ripen to be. This is my Malachite box dwarf purple heartthrob cross, and I've got green when ripe, I've got green when ripe stripes, I've got purples, I've got purple stripes. So don't know, obviously this isn't going to be striped, so whether it's a green when ripe or a purple, or well, probably be one of those, well, remains to be seen. This dwarf is still going. It's not going to produce. I think I did see a fruit. Yeah, there is a fruit still on here. We'll see if I get it by the end of the season, but this was the green when ripe striped dwarf. Over here I've got another Queen Nanny plant. So little fruits on that. Here's the Cherokee short steak. Lots of flowers, but not sure I'll get anything by the end of the season at this point. It's a bit late. We'll see. This is the Japanese plant called Reika. It's an F1 hybrid that Pretty had sent me from California. So sweet. It's looking really great. I do see some flowers coming. I'm praying that I get tomatoes by the end of the season, but it's probably not looking good for me. It's today. What's today? August 19th. Still have 2 months, so you just never know. And we could have a late frost too, but the nights are, or the days are starting to get shorter. I can tell this week it's going to be in the mid 70s all week, which is very cool for us at this time of year. So I'm hopeful, but it may not be in the cards for me this year, unfortunately. Let's see. I've got a Heidi's Wicked Good sucker, again, that won't produce by the end of the season. I had another Tulsa, or not Tulsa, Tupelo honey, and that produced a lot, and that's just about done. Here's my last Chocolate Henry plant. Just a couple smaller fruits still to come. That was a decent producer. Have another Triumph of Sophia plant coming here. Aren't these cute? They don't seem to be getting any bigger on this plant, but the grow bags do that. This random carrot here is for my two little baby bunny friends. We've named Nibbles and Spot. Spot has a little spot on his forehead, and I've been picking, that's actually one from the grocery store, but I've been picking the carrots from our beds and throwing them out there, so they're getting more carrots than we are. Let's just go through here quickly and then we'll end this for today. This was a riddle of Strawberry Waterfall. That's just about done. Ben Gantz produced a lot. Still going. Another Verde Rojo de Sierra Pondo. Is that giving it? There's one small fruit there. Big Malacca. Have not had any ripe ones yet. They are big. Very big. Let's go on the other side and look at that. But that's taking its own sweet time. Look at these. They're not going to be like 2-pounders, but maybe 1 and over. Excited to taste that. Millwood's Inspiration. Oh, would you look at that? Little stinker. Have not had ripe ones of Millwood's Inspiration yet. Waiting patiently. Got more Malapine here. Yay. Really happy I decided to plant an extra plant of that. Mrs. Gorby. Still have more fruits coming from Mrs. Gorby, but they're not huge. We haven't tasted Mrs. Gorby yet, actually. Here's more Jake's German. They're migrating over here. They really should. Rob usually puts extensions on the posts here, and we just haven't had a chance to this year. So they're just tipping over. What else? Oh, I saw we've got a ripe quina coming up. Let me go back to the other side. Have not had any ripe quinas yet. Here's my Hazel Creek potato leaf. Here's Armenian. This is a cuckoo, unfortunately, but it is productive. Very productive. And here we go. Here's some quina that are starting to blush. Look at that. Quina, are you watching? Yay, quina. Nice size. And lots of them, too. Pretty good production. Swisher Sweet. This was a favorite of the year, and we have one lone fruit. It was not productive for us, but man, was that good. We'll be growing it next year, and not in a grow bag. It'll go in a bed. Here's more Lauren's coming. My tomato, not that I bred, Tatiana Nagel bred it, but, and I see a pest got this too. I'm really contending with the pests this time of year, which is a total bummer. I don't know why I always skip by this one. It's not intentional, but this is a variety given to me by Annette Beauregard. It's called Condo Fury, or otherwise known as Italian Condo Fury. I think I forget to talk about it every week. Unfortunately, this variety has been really prone to blossom end rot, which is very typical of paste or Roma tomatoes. But it looks like I've got a few more coming up. I took one off. I took one with blossom end rot off. It was ripe and I wanted to save seeds from it because you can save seeds from things with blossom end rot. And the part that didn't have blossom end rot, I tasted. Oh my God, was it good. So I'm really hoping soon to be able to taste one without blossom end rot on it, because if it's as good as that part was, it's a really good one. Anybody else out there growing it? Have you had ripe ones yet? And what do you think? It was so sweet. So we shall see. All right, let's go to a couple more. Okay, here we have Polish Bling. This is a variegated from Craig. We have not had ripe from these yet. Oh, did I skip by Earl? I did skip by Earl. Earl is one of Craig's favorites. It's a red. And I saw blushing here too, starting to blush. Yay. Very productive. Earl. I've mentioned every week that this bed is always just a little bit behind the other beds. Gets a little bit more shade. But that's kind of nice so to space things out, because clearly I don't have room in my countertop anymore. Violet Beauty, have not had ripe ones of this yet. That's taking its own sweet time, but lots of fruits to come on that. Got another red trash panda here. I tasted red trash panda, I think on my show last week, and it's good. I don't think it's great. I know many of you have said how great it is, and I really like it, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting to be blown away and was not. I think we gave it a 7 out of 10. So if you've grown it and tasted it, what do you think? Do you think it's amazing, or do you think it's good, not great like me? We've tasted a few fruits now and they're kind of the same, but it is pretty and it's very productive too. But taste is subjective. You just never know, right? So let's, there's one more I wanted to show you. I showed you Polish Bling. Where's Lucky Bling? Hang on. Here's Lucky Bling. Have not tasted these yet either. Another one of Craig's. More to come. And back here, got more Missoura fave Japanese variety that discovered this year and is absolutely delicious. I know many of you are getting seeds from a place in Germany, but I'm saving lots and lots of seeds too. So let's call it a day. Thank you for joining me on this Tomato Tour Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Boy, it's so nice out here. It's wind's blowing, well, not wind blowing, it's a nice breeze, just a little bit cooler. It's not super hot, so really enjoying this. Although honestly, when the weather gets cooler, I get bummed out because it means tomato season is not going to last much longer. And I can tell just by the looking at my plants and the fruits and the pests. I can't believe I just found a tomato hornworm in a bed with borage. There goes my theory. I've said all these past couple of years I put borage in the beds, that I've never seen a tomato hornworm. Just saw one. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Life happens, pests happen, it's just Mother Nature happens. It's just what happens. Life happens, tomatoes happen. But I've had a fantastic season. I said last week that it may be my last tomato tour. I'm gonna say that again today, but we'll see. We'll see what next week brings. I'm really happy I was able to do this tour with you guys, and hope I can catch you on Thursday for my live show, Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. I'll taste some tomatoes and we'll talk about 10 tomatoes I'm obsessed with this week, and I will see you then. Peace, love, gratitude, and go grow tomatoes. Bye.